All right, we got another announcement. It seems like we're having several announcements, but we got another announcement this week. We got Lindsay Greene, who's made the gigantic leap over to EXP Realty. How are you doing, Lindsay?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. So let's just start with the basics. What market do you serve right now?
Oklahoma City and surrounding.
Okay, so you kind of the metro area.
Yeah. Edmond, Moore, I'll drive to Choctaw, whatever.
That's awesome. Well, first of all, I'm really glad to have you on board. You know, I know that you're an entrepreneur, so you have this real estate is one of I guess a few businesses that you and your husband have, and
Yes.
you started your business. You're a part of a team. You made the journey over to EXP. I wanted to interview someone who was a part of a team just to kind of get your perspective. What was it like when your team leader, you're with the Hard Home Selling team? What was it like when your team leader reached out to you? What was your response when you found out that you were looking at possibly making the move?
I could tell that there was some complacency setting in the office, like whether it was me or the team. It just felt like we were getting out of it year by year. Like it was like, okay, 19 was a great year, but what's 2020 got? 2021, what has it got? And so it started to become this cycle. And Brandon called me and said, "Hey, I need to talk to you." And I thought I was going to be in trouble. And it ends up he wanted to move teams. He wanted to move over to EXP, and I was down. But I had a lot of questions because there's quite the reputation of something new, right?
Yeah.
And luckily they are answered, and we're here, and promises have been delivered.
So let me ask you this. So there's people out there that have teams. There's people that are a part of a team. When did you first hear about EXP? Is it something that was on your radar?
A little bit, yes and no. At the beginning, when it first started, that word started to show up around town, it didn't have a fun place in our hearts. Like it was like, oh, like we just had questions about it. But we weren't really asking questions to get the right answers, right? We just had this impression of it. And then
It was a competitor.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what it is, right? Because when you start taking up free space in people's minds, that's actually a good thing. So
Yeah.
it just kept seeing those words, kept noticing brokers that I enjoy doing transactions with were changing. And I was like, okay, there's something going on here. I need to get in on it.
All right. So what was some of those first questions that you had as from being on a team? When your team leader came, hey, what was your questions that, were the questions in the back of your mind?
Yeah, well, back of my mind, there's no questions in the back of my mind. Like I just threw them all at Brandon. He was probably like super overwhelmed. But number one, the health insurance, like I had a lot of questions about that, investigated, super happy. I think I got a plan under $300. Like it's insane. Like a really good insurance plan. So that was awesome. I had questions about the splits. Of course, you have questions about how to help others succeed. And all of those were getting answered the way that I liked, because so many times you have new friends or agents like, I want to become a realtor. And you're like, well, awesome. You can join my brokerage, but that's as far as I can get you through the door, and good luck. And I remember, I've worked at Keller Williams for 4 years now and love it. But I remember walking in and going, okay, I'm finished. Where are my leads? And someone said, oh, sweetie, they're in your phone. And so now having these new funnels and these new, just all these new promises being answered, I actually have a way to help new people. So those are my biggest questions I had for Brandon. Like, what's the purpose of our move, and are we going to make more money?
So I do have one question. This was originally going to be my first question. What's your dog's name? That is a cute little dog you have there.
Where is she at? Oh, Chloe the closer.
Chloe the closer. I like it. Yeah, I like it. So you had questions. Your team leader, Brandon, came, told you you're going to be making the move. You had a couple questions, and then were you in? Were you out? Or, after he answered those questions, how long did it take for you to say, to come to the realization? Did you think about not going? Kind of walk me through your kind of mindset at that point.
I thought about not going. I of course, I'm super loyal. Like my loyalty will kill me, and I know that. But I was like, wow, this is a huge step to go to a new brokerage who is building, their name in my mind. My perception was that. I wanted to see if I could get some different splits at some other brokerages, and I actually got a couple extremely competitive offers. The more and more I slept on it and I'd wake up, I would just think, no, like EXP just like got me, but for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a pressure either. It was, okay, just make whatever decision feels best for you. And I feel like I was being a little pressured on some of the other, I don't know.
Options.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think I was just really attracted. I think mostly the fact that we can help others. And of course, I needed Brandon to prove that. And so he was trying to get you to show him some things. And finally, like more and more evidence of this was, showing up on our emails, and it made us feel a lot better about it.
So tell me about, you said this, prior for us jumping on. So I had a little bit of insight, but what do you mean by helping others? What can you kind of unpack that? What do you mean by this seems like something that motivates you?
Okay. So going back to being a new agent, right, at a great brokerage with great training. Well, I was a part of that at Keller Williams, but it was like when I have a friend or a family member that wants to become a realtor, I see them work for 6 to 8 months at the office making cold calls and not really making any money. And I see them getting discouraged. And I hate that, because I might go out and, get lucky with a friend or a family member, I don't know. It took me about 6 months, I think. So I was kind of in their shoes. For a program to have funnel marketing classes, for it to offer, an MLM strategy, let's just talk about that, where it's not just about selling homes, even though top producing is what we want to do. It's also about building retirement plans and setting yourself up for your future. That is helping others. And so it excited me, because if I have a friend, I can actually set them up with KV Core, or set them up with Making It Rain, which is something offered by EXP, and know that they're not going to be waiting 6 to 8 months to close a deal. And so that was probably the biggest thing for me.
So knowing that you can actually, help other people above, well, you're incentivized. Let's just face it. There's the a guy named Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's right-hand man. They say he's one of the best decision makers in the world. And he says, show me any great company or any bad company, and I'll show you a problem with the compensation. So there's a compensation behavior alignment where not only you're incentivized, I'm incentivized, Brandon's incentivized, everybody's incentivized. So in other words of, your limitation, maybe you meet somebody at let's say a football game, and they, you're watching, enjoying the football game. They start learning you're in real estate. They start talking to you. Usually that conversation ends at the end of that evening. Over here, there's an incentive for you to help them take the next step and the next step and the next step to be successful. And it's an additional revenue stream that you get compensated for helping the company grow, which is attractive. Going back to your insurance that you were talking about, was that something that you had in the back of your mind? Is that something you had been offered somewhere else? Is that something you had been looking into as an entrepreneur? Kind of talk to me a little bit about that and how important that was.
EXP is the first brokerage to ever offer agents health insurance. And that just hit me, because it just came from, once again, a place from care about the people that are, the company, working for the company. And so I didn't believe it. I looked up a quote, and it was like, well, $0 for catastrophic. And I was like, and then I started to do more research, and I started doing that, like picking at what options I wanted for, my future family. And I, like, my old quote during the Affordable Care Act, like, I don't know how many years ago that was over $600 a month. So I just gave up. I just haven't had health insurance, and it's been fine, but want to be more responsible as I get older. So finding that quote, I think it was like $290 a month for everything that I wanted. And
how easy was that process?
Very easy.
Truthfully, I mean, how was it something that was it part of the signing up, onboarding? Did you check a box? Walk someone through, like when they come over to EXP, how did what was your experience getting set up with the insurance?
Very easy. So, I mean, you do get a lot, whenever you're switching over brokerages, you're going to get quite a few emails in that inbox, and it's, just take one step at a time. But during one of those one steps at a time, it did say, a guy named Jake from the insurance company.
I'm joking.
Yeah, from State Farm. He reached out to me, and it was just a link. I answered some questions, and then it gave me options to choose. And then within minutes, he was like, "Hey, do you want to set up a call?" And to be honest, I was like, "Not yet." And then the next day, I did call him back and solidified. So, I mean, to answer your question, it was just obvious in the steps. It was super easy, and it didn't derail me into this new insurance, dive. It was pretty easy.
Yeah, and I think anytime you're in business, one of your challenges is articulating the value. I had the unique opportunity last Thursday to sit down with the founder of the insurance company, co-founder, and he talked to a handful of us. There might have been 20, 30 people on the call, but he really was able to articulate what made the insurance, what made it different than other alternatives, and why it was such a good value. And it was extremely impressive. And I think it's really a responsibility or a duty for us as agents to be able to answer those questions for so many agents out there that, find themselves as self-employed and struggling with that same thing as a good alternative to take care of yourself and your family. Moving forward, so what are you most excited about now that you kind of went through so you've been here, maybe 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Have you wrote any offers yet?
Yes.
Really? So you already got your first deal coming?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
The process, thank you. The process was smooth too. KV Core not KV Core, Sky Slope. I'm still learning on my terms here. Super integrated program. Like the technology, that is, I forgot to mention that. Like that's another reason that we jumped ship, and wow, like it's just so much smoother. It just communicates really well. And so it made that process of writing an offer even easier.
That is awesome. Well, congratulations. So on your first deal, you're going to earn stock.
Yeah.
I assume you did the agent equity program where you get to buy the stock at a discount with every closing.
I did. And I think being on a team, I think Brandon's hooking us up a little bit there too. Like splitting it, since we're, splitting commissions and stuff. So I think that's really cool that he's excited and throwing in some of our stock as well. And so I've never really messed with the stock market, and so it's not like I'm losing anything. I'm only gaining.
That is so incredible. So what are you most excited about?
I don't know. Like I'm most excited right now. We're just excited, right? We're doing something new. It's like when you get a new iPhone and you have to set it up, and it's kind of like, yay, new customizations. But I think right now what I'm most excited about is people seeing EXP like on my new MLS, the bottom of it when I'm signing an offer. And I'm excited about them going, what? Like in Oklahoma, I'm just pretty excited about the transfer and showing people how it's going to change my life, and hopefully it can change others' lives. So
one thing you said you were talking about was, the marketing side. Let's, talk to me about, making this move over. You were sharing with me, and I know this because you are an action taker. You've been getting your hands kind of dirty when it comes to getting into building some of these funnels. Kind of how's that process been? And share a little bit of that part of the process.
So I've always been doing Facebook ads and boosts, and I've been friends with people, that do marketing and social media marketing, and I've gotten help along the way. But it wasn't until I started doing some of the, marketing funnels that you guys were teaching, that I had my biggest ahas of how to attack an actual market, and how to actually get leads to come back. It was the first time I ever ran an ad and actually had something say new lead. And I was like, what? I'm actually getting leads. And I got 7 in 3 days.
That is
And I'm
incredible.
still, like you said, dirty. Like I'm still learning. So I only got their email addresses because I didn't ask in a form for like their phone number, their correct way. But I'm learning, and I've got, a program where I can go every Tuesday and Thursday to learn more. So that's awesome, because I'm a big tech nerd. I think I'm finding out I'm a tech nerd. Just have to write the right tools in the right school, right?
Absolutely. Well, let me ask you this question. If somebody, let's say somebody, is watching this, maybe they're an agent on a team, maybe they're, in a situation where they want to, find out more about the health insurance, or they just want to know about moving over, they want to ask you a question. How would somebody reach out to you if they wanted to reach out to you?
They can call me. They can text me. My number is 405-315-6389. And just starting a conversation, knowledge is power, right? Those are the decisions that people have to make in their lives, but it has made my life better. So I would be more than happy to have coffee and talk about how I made the jump.
Absolutely. How you made the jump. But what I want to point out is, you're one of I've helped a lot of people make the move over to EXP. I would put you in the top 3 of resourceful and action taking, maybe the top 2. So I don't only think that you could make the jump. I think that you did your homework on every single thing. You asked every single question. You plugged in. You got in front of the cart, behind the cart, on the cart, drove the cart, backed it up and parked it before anyone was there. I mean, she did her homework. So I highly recommend you reach out to Lindsay, and you can call her, text her, 405-315-6389. She's definitely did her homework. She has a different perspective. And so from her point of view, she was presented with this opportunity, had to make a decision fast, and was able to do that. And we're privileged to have you as a partner, excited to help you. I can't wait to do your 90-day, 6-month, 12-month check-in. And, we're delighted to be partnered with you guys and hoping to help you guys grow, not only, your business, but also grow the business around the country and really make EXP a household name there in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any final things, any questions I should ask that I didn't?
No, I can't think of anything. These, how these Facebook lives go.
Yeah.
But I am so excited.
Tell the closer, the real boss. I know the closer's the real boss.
I know she's actually there. She is.
There she is. Oh, she's okay. She's running production right now. She's making sure you don't say anything wrong.
She's awesome.
Yeah. Well, you're awesome. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for being a part of this. And we really are excited and glad to be partnered with you.
Me too. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Remember, you can text her, call her, 405-315-6389. And if you want to watch other interviews, if you want to grow your business, if you want to know what's working right now, make sure that you go and check us out. You can always go check us out easily right here. I always miss it. YouTube.com/Michael Reese. And thank you so much, Lindsay. We'll be talking to you really, really soon.
Okay.